Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. My name is Patty, and if you've been here before, welcome back. I truly appreciate it. And if you're new here, welcome. Thank you for stopping by, and hopefully we'll see you again. I don't know if y'all are aware, but it might have been a few weeks since I posted my last video. I actually posted it shortly after my surgery, so don't worry, nobody tried to unalive me. I had ACDF surgery back at the end of May on the 23rd. And since then, I've been using this time to try and be good. Not really succeeding there. And heal a little bit. So I thought that I'd have a bunch of stuff done while I was off. Because I've been on short-term disability recently. And yeah, that didn't work out so well. So what has happened though is I've been influenced. I've been influenced by TikTok. And TikTok influenced me to buy a bunch of stuff. But really, how could I not? A few ways I probably couldn't. Probably shouldn't have. Really shouldn't have. But the prices were just so good. And like free shipping. I mean, who doesn't love free shipping? How could I say no? So what we're going to do is we're going to get ready with me today. And the reason why I am dressed as I am, my son gave me some real funky looks, and my husband's here. I don't know if I want to do that again. So I don't know how to take that one. Take it as you will, considering the fact we'll be celebrating 30 years in September. So we'll see how it goes. But I was influenced to buy the Jeffree Star Wedding Palette. And I should have it up here, but I don't. But I bought this box. And this box. And this box. And it's in one of them. These were not from Jeffree Star. They weren't purchased through his website. They were all purchased through TikTok. But they were sent out, I believe, by his warehouse. That's not it. It is one of the things that I got from TikTok. And I know this isn't it because I've already split that up. This must be the box. She's heavy. So I purchased this before my surgery, intending to do this video. I've been eyeing up the palette. I've been eyeing up a few things, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do a Jeffree Star wedding palette review, and I'm gonna wear a veil because why not? My wedding dress was much different. This is simply a blouse with a brooch or a brooch, and this veil is something I picked up out of the Goodwill bins. It was in a package. It was sealed. My dress wouldn't fit me in 1,000 years, and my veil is with my dress probably in the bottom of my closet. So it's in a bag. It's sealed. It's old, but it was really pretty. Anywho, I thought it would be nifty. Let me know what you think. This is almost reminiscent of my hair. There was a lot less grays at the time of my wedding, so also 100 pounds less. But we won't go there. Anyhow, I ordered this. I think TikTok said I ordered it May 10th. I had to go back and look. But I saw this and it was $45. And I had never purchased from TikTok. So I got it half off with a handy dandy little coupon. This is a freaking heavy palette. I mean, That's like pushing the limits of my like 10-pound lifting limit. Okay, maybe not, but it's hefty. Anyway, they always package it wonderfully. I always reuse my packaging because we are resellers. But if you purchase this palette during the TikTok shop, during his live, you also got free gifts, which I am all about free gifts. So along with the palette, I received a lovely little Heartbreaker compact. So I thought that this was neat. I love the packaging. It screams 80s to me for some reason. I think I had like a sticker book with the hearts on it, and a t-shirt with the hearts on it, the rainbow hearts. And the compact looks like this. It is plastic. And it has two mirrors. One is a regular mirror and one is a magnifying mirror. I do not know what the magnification is though, but I can use it to see if I have any hairs on my chinny chin chin, so it works. I wasn't sure if I was going to actually keep this because I collect compacts, but I collect older compacts from like the 30s, 40s, the 50s. The really pretty compacts when makeup companies used metal and were very elaborate. Think Charlotte's Tilbury, but up a few notches, if you can imagine. So, but you know, it was free. I like Jeffree Star's products, so I'll probably hold on to her. Now, I did make a repurchase with this. I repurchased the Hydrating Glitz lip balm because I had received one in my mystery box, and instead of lowering it all the way before I put the cap back on it, I forgot. And it broke. So I have purchased a backup. I'll still use it, and there's nothing wrong with it, but I just thought it was beautiful that it was so sparkly. So, and they smell really good too. So this was a repurchase. I didn't do it again. It's all the way down, and it comes in this lovely little case. So, and as another free gift, we've received a velvet trap in the color Unicorn Blood, which is like one that he is very well known for. And she looks like this. I don't believe I have this. I don't really have a lot of his lipsticks, truthfully. I'm more of an eyeshadow purchaser, but I have ordered a few. But this is what she looks like. It's a very vampy color. So we will see how this turns out, and if we use this one or a different one. So let's put her back in here. Okay, so this was the first purchase. The second purchase was, let's just get rid of that. Second purchase on TikTok was during another live. Has nothing, absolutely nothing to do with Jeffree Star. It was the Strawberry Shortcake blusher. I'm an 80s girl. I was born in the 70s. I lived through the 80s. Survived it. I got married in the 90s and started having children. But I will always be a Strawberry Shortcake girl. And I like the OG. This is the image. Anything weird that they've done since then. I'm not sure if it's still, if the images or if the name is still owned by Kenner. Back in the day it was. I think Hallmark might have taken it at one point. But that was like one of the greatest parts of my childhood, was receiving Strawberry Shortcake dolls from my sister for my birthday. And I've held on to quite a few of them. And I have a few other things that my mother has purchased for me. I've got glasses with strawberry shortcake on it. I have salt and pepper shakers. I do use those. I don't use the glasses because I'm afraid they're going to break. But this is what she looks like. And that is how she looks. This is a beautiful color. This is a very, very pigmented color on the cheeks. And this is from Glamlite. Glamlite does do lives on TikTok. They do offer discounts. They do not always offer free shipping. And that's really any company. They don't always offer free shipping. But I'm very thankful when they do. So I think we're going to use this. The next thing that, we'll see how that turns out too. The next thing that I purchased was this box. Was it? I think it was. No, it wasn't. It was what I threw into the other large box I have. No, it's not. Well, darn it. Okay. I might have misplaced that box, honestly, or I could have just emptied it. I think I did. I purchased 3 lipsticks. 3 Velvet Trap lipsticks because they were $3 a piece. And they were free shipping. And at the time I did not realize that you could create a cart. And I purchased them all separately. So they were $3.60 a piece because of tax. And they all came in boxes this big. I received 3 boxes this big. 1 for each of these. So if you order anything from us and you see a pink box, that's where they came from. We reuse all packaging. But I purchased the Communion Wine lipstick. This is gorgeous. This is what she looks like. She is also a very vampy color. I think Unicorn Blood might have more of a pink undertone. I'd have to look. This one has like a brick undertone. So it's more of a brown undertone, I believe. Just going to set that aside. I ordered So Jaded. So Jaded is a green color. This is a Velvet Trap as well. This is what So Jaded looks like. This looks really cool on as well. That is what she looks like. It is like, it's an almost an army green with gray in it. It's a very neat color. Okay. And then I ordered God's Gift. This is part of the Pink Religion line. Look at the color of that Velvet Trap. And it is a velvety texture too. This is more of a metallic or metal. This is definitely the velvety texture. And this is white. Probably not colors that you would think to pick up. But I had plans. And these are going to look very cool. Maybe not in this video, but in a future one. So, for $3.60 a piece, I ordered 3 of these. And they came in the separate boxes. This box was the following box. This was also purchased during a live. He recently released color correctors, a line of them, and he was offering 4 of them for $10, and I couldn't say no. Did he offer the color I really wanted, the green one? No. Didn't offer the pink one either. He offered the orange, the dark yellow, or the regular yellow rather, a light yellow, and a lavender color. So this is a pale yellow. Can't really see that. And this is lavender. And the other two are currently upstairs. They are out in my eBay shop because I don't know anybody that can use them. So I decided to put them in the eBay shop at a very, very good rate. And I will put the link to my eBay shop, eBay store, in my description this time. And I also have several palettes that were duplicates for me. Those are also in our eBay store. And right now they are at buy it now prices, but we are always willing to accept offers. So don't feel bad about offering something lower. So if it's reasonable, we'll be happy to work with you. Okay, I also ordered, because the last TikTok shop I watched, Jeffree Star Live, he was working with e.l.f. Cosmetics. I won an e.l.f. primer from that TikTok, and I received the packaging. I was so excited. Packaging was empty. It's like somebody had slit the back of it open, and I didn't notice it right away. I pulled it off. I'm like, oh great, my free gift is here. No, it wasn't. I'm not blaming e.l.f. and I'm not blaming TikTok. And I don't know that I want to blame the Postal Service either. But it was like somebody had ripped the back of it. It could have been caught in a machine. But it was not in the package. So that's a bummer. This one arrived correctly. This was $10 with free shipping. It was a little interesting to try and figure out what color to use, but I think I figured it out. Excited to use this. I've used it 2 or 3 times already, and the coverage is fantastic. It is the e.l.f. Soft Glam Satin Foundation. It is a medium coverage, medium buildable coverage. It's very nice. It's a great color. It matched me the other night. I've since been out in the sun, so we'll see if that matches today. This is going to be a long video, y'all, so if y'all need a drink, I'm not going to stop you. Last but not least, this one on sale. This is the last box. I've been eyeing this up since it came out. I think it was about a year ago, because maybe not. I think his birthday is October, November, so I don't think it's been a year yet. And this is the Scorpio palette. She is so pretty. These are like all my colors. I absolutely love this palette. I don't want to rip the carton. Oh, this is what she looks like. Killer bod, beautiful sunset. I would love that wig. Jeffree needs to start selling wigs. I would buy them. Anywho, it is a scorpion for the clasp. And can I open it? This is the palette. This is just stunning. Absolutely stunning. I can't wait to play with this. But we're not playing with this today. We're playing with the wedding palette. So let us set this aside. Jeffree has 2 drawers in my little Alex set over here. And they're full. So I think that we're going to have to rearrange some things. So we'll set this down. Now, talking about my eBay store, I'm also going to be putting up the blue cat mirror I don't collect these. They're cute. It's really, really cute. I've got very limited space, and while this is my aesthetic kind of upstairs in the house, like 60s, 70s looking, it's not my aesthetic down here. So that will be going in my eBay store, as well as the machete wallet that I got in the Halloween mystery box. So this doesn't want to open. This is what the concealer looks like. This actually just looks, doesn't even really look yellow. It looks almost peach. It's a really pretty package though. I'm a sucker for packaging. No, it's yellow. Now I am unable to find my green color corrector that I normally have here, and I have not purchased his. So we're going to work, my hair's falling down. We're going to work with the yellow and see what happens. I am showing very red tonight. It's hot down here. So let's get these little curls out of the way and see if we can make this under an hour, guys. Okay, so we're going to start with some color corrector. I know that yellow or green cancels out red. We're gonna see if yellow will at least lighten it up a little bit, because honestly, for a half hour before I started this video, I went looking for my green color corrector, even though I know I didn't get it from TikTok. I'll be using a couple products that I didn't get from TikTok, but that's okay. It's not touching the yellow, or the red rather. Let's see if we can do a little more. I don't want to look like Rudolph. It's my wedding day. Actually, my wedding day was just beyond words. Okay, that lightened it up a little bit. Let's hope that the e.l.f. foundation can correct it a little bit more. So we're going to put a little bit on our wrist. And we're going to dip into this. And kind of even everything out. Don't want to pick up the other colors. I'll have green stripes and brick colored stripes. So, as I was saying, everything that could go wrong on my wedding day probably did go wrong. I'm going to find out at 30 years that I'm not even married. So, we were married in September. Did not realize that Labor Day weekend was also race weekend in Richmond, Virginia. We were married in Chester, Virginia, which is about a half an hour outside of Richmond. So there were quite a few limitations on the hotel, any hotels in that area. So some of our guests, I don't know if they just assumed that my mother had the room at the house, but there were like no hotels available. So some of the cousins camped on my mother's lawn. I no longer had a bedroom. My sister came into town with her husband and child. Aunt came into town. Thankfully stayed at a hotel. Cousins stayed at a hotel. And because they were driving in from New York, my in-laws were staying at my then fiance's apartment. We weren't living together yet. And yeah, so there was one thing. we met the priest the night before the wedding because our priest was on vacation. Didn't find that out either until after we had booked the date. So we had a visiting priest that came in while we were setting up and about to do a quick rehearsal, and told me basically that if he had talked to me first, that my father would not be walking me down the aisle. Yeah, I wasn't very pleased with that. And I basically told him that I wouldn't have been getting married in the Catholic Church if my father had not been allowed to walk me down the aisle. And his reasoning was that too much importance was put on the bride. Okay. Now, our wedding wasn't grand. It wasn't super expensive. We were young. I was 19. My husband was 21. We were pretty new to the workforce. And we just didn't have it. And I also, and don't take this the wrong way, if you guys have ever spent a lot of money on an event like a wedding, I didn't believe in spending that kind of money on a wedding when we could put it towards a house, our vehicles, paying down debt. So there was that. It was a nice wedding. It was a nice wedding. My sister-in-law did the flowers. She also took the photos. My mother cooked some of the food. We had some of it catered. It wasn't bad, but it was definitely homey. And that's okay, because we're kind of homey people. So that is the foundation. I'm liking it. I'm liking how it turned out. It covers really well. I think I need to blend that out a little bit more on my nose. And it feels like really weightless. So it doesn't feel sticky or cakey. It's not falling into my lines. And it's helping with the red. So I do not have a bronzer or a contour. I'm pulling out my old standby, which is my Viseart. Let's see if we can use my bronzer brush. Nope. Not that one. We'll use this one. This is more of a fluffy brush. I like more of a firm brush for my contour, but this works. These earrings are very tight. I've been curating some. My camera's gonna cut off, so we'll discuss it in a moment. Okay, the earrings had to come out. They were tight. I'll put them back in for the final look. So we're just going very light. The colors that I'm using, they're kind of reminiscent to what I used on my wedding day, so, but we were talking about that. The day before the wedding, we're at the church hall, and we had to use the church hall to cook because the electrical panel in my parents' house that they were renting had caught on fire. Yeah. How many signs can we get that maybe this wasn't a good idea? So the electrical panel caught on fire, and I mean, everything was fine. They caught it quickly, shut everything off, called an electrician out. That was taken care of. The whatchamacallit, the septic system had started to back up. So there was that. And then my sister made it in from Houston like late that night, and we did the rehearsal, and we really hadn't planned on doing anything. My brother-in-laws were taking my husband out. I thought us girls would go out. I was still underage, mind you. But that didn't happen, which was okay, because, like, even now I don't drink, so back then I wasn't legal, but it would have been nice to, like, hit a restaurant or something. But anywho, the next day we get up and it's a mad dash for the shower. We had to go get our hair done. This is just beautiful. Look at this palette. And the stone. That's just so pretty. My palette did not look like this that I used to get my makeup ready. It was a little Maybelline cosmetic or CoverGirl. So, and let's rip this off. Let's see if we could take this off. Holy moly, is it like melded? Okay, there we go. There's the palette. These are kind of similar to the colors that I wore. I wore Basic Betty colors for my wedding. We're gonna change that a little though. We're gonna color this up. So I get over to the hairdressers. I have my makeup done. She does my hair well, not really like this, a little like this. It's starting to fall. I think I had bangs back then. And it was just done in a French braid. My veil was much more elaborate. It had the little flowers coming down off the side, cascading, and it probably cost almost as much as my dress. So, and while not super expensive, it wasn't super cheap either. So the first color we're going to go in is called Grand Entrance, and that is this color right there. So I get to the hairdressers, get my hair done. I don't have my veil with me. I had to drive all the way home to get my veil. Gets back to the hairdressers, and my sister has had a haircut and she hates it. Now she's like 13, 14 years old, I think. No, she was older than that. Probably 14 years old. There's like 4.5 years between us. And yeah, she hates it. It's kind of like a bob with bangs. And they kind of had the bangs like up and over the side because that's what you did in the 90s. And yeah, she wasn't pleased. My girls weren't terribly pleased with the dresses I picked out, but I thought that they would be wearable again. They were like Holly Hobby dresses. Very farmer's daughter with the big yoke collar, and they were yellow. They were pretty, very pretty colors. And that was the style at the time. And I wasn't into like satiny dresses or flowy dresses for my girls. It was like a Holly Hobby dress. No wonder why they don't like me. And white hats. Little white hats that sat in the back. They looked cute. They looked super cute. They weren't happy. Their flowers were very simple. There was little baby carnations with daisies, and I thought they were lovely. I had a big bouquet with peach and yellow roses, very light colors. Lots of baby's breath. I've gone into Save the Date, which is that color. I'm using my blinged brushes. These were not bought on TikTok. But I'm doing my wedding look, so why wouldn't I use very pretty brushes? So, yeah, they didn't voice their displeasure, but the looks on their face said it all. But it was about convenience. It was about being economical and not expecting my girls to spend a fortune to be a part of my day. So there was that. So we get back to the house. We all travel over to the church. I have my dress with me. Haven't seen the priest yet. Haven't seen Greg yet. It's a big no-no. And I go and I'm getting dressed with the girls, and I put my arm in the sleeve of my dress. My dress was satin. It had the lace detailing, and it had the pointed sleeve that came to here, and it was a gorgeous dress. But I put my arm in the dress, and my entire sleeve on my left side was like fraying. It wasn't even torn, it was fraying. And I'm like, what? What else could go wrong? And I mean, I'm like, look at this. I was just, wasn't ready to call things off at this point, so knock on wood. It was just it was a series of unfortunate events without the lemony snicket. Unless you want to call the priest that. So we get my dress sorted. My aunt was a seamstress, and she was able to temporarily set it to rights so that it wasn't noticeable or as noticeable to anybody but us. Everybody gets ready. We've done a full Catholic wedding at my mother's request. We had speakers, readers. We had communion. My father did walk me down the aisle. It was lovely. I don't think we were allowed to use the wedding march, though. I don't honestly remember what song. We might have used a John Michael Montgomery song as the wedding march. And I'm going into Cake Topper, which is this color right here, to try and darken this up a little bit. Give it a little bit more dimension. And I get to the end of the aisle, and it's not really an aisle because the church is like in a circle. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. And we'd been going there for a while, but it was pretty. It was very lit, very little stained glass. It was more of a modern church. But I walk in on my father's arm. I get to the end. I see Greg. I see the priest. The priest is wearing the I don't know what it's called. He's not wearing priest black. He's wearing like corduroy pants with argyle socks with sandals on, with the priest robe over it. Doesn't look like he didn't shave. Didn't look like he had brushed his hair. Oh my god. I was like, did he sleep in his truck overnight? Because, oh my word. I've never, ever seen a priest look quite like that. And I was just very, very surprised. Hence why I question if I'm actually married all these years later. So we are going to, I think we're going to stick, well no, because that's almost a shimmer shade. We're going to go into the color I do, which is this color brown. You know what? We're going to go into Always and Forever, because that, well, this one was almost the name of our song. For our first dance, our song was Forever and Ever Amen. So by Randy Travis. And on my ring says Always, or no, my ring says Forever, and my husband's ring said And Ever. He had to have it cut off though when he got it caught at work, so we have to get that fixed. Well, that's pretty. So we get through the wedding. The wedding's like over an hour long. Get to the reception, and we had hired waitresses to help out, which is fine. And like I said, we had some of it catered. So the waitresses actually came from the place we had part of the food catered through. And we realized we had no alcohol for the wedding. So Labor Day weekend, we had to have somebody run and make an alcohol run, because like we didn't even have alcohol for the toast. I wasn't legal. My husband was barely legal, and it didn't come to mind, and nobody reminded us. So, yeah. The food was served buffet style. It was a lot of food. Most of the food was very good. What my mother cooked was excellent. What we had catered was not quite what I was imagining. It didn't taste like the taste test. So we ate, we danced, we were merry. The priest, who also had a service that evening, sat down next to my in-laws, my brand new in-laws, and drank a Bud Light. I don't know if that's normal for a priest. I was a little surprised. But we had hired the people, the caterers, waitresses, to help clean up, basically. Just keep the tables cleaned off. So cake can be serve the cake after it was cut. Yeah, they weren't doing what we had asked of them. We got the cake cut, we shoved it in each other's faces. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't as good as what had been taste tested. So it was a day full of surprises. We ended up paying the waitresses and sending them on their way, because they weren't doing their job. I've just wet this down. I'm going to dip back into Always and Forever and line my eyes. I did have a smoky look on the day of the wedding, but like I said, it was like a basic Betty palette. It was all neutrals, all nudes. But I looked damn good on my wedding day, despite everything. We sent the waitresses on their way, and we ended up clearing the tables and packing everything up so that they could be picked up the next day by the rental company. And we decided to take our gifts back to my mother's and father's house to open. got out to the car and somebody had the bright idea to put bananas underneath the door handles. So one of the best pictures from that day is the look on my husband's face, brand new husband's face, when he put his fingers to lift the handle to help me in the car. Yeah. We didn't end up making it to the hotel until like 11:30 that night. The wedding was an afternoon wedding. It was a very long day. So the colors are really pretty on this palette. In this palette, they're laying down very well. I do want to clean this up just a little bit before I lay down a shimmer. And I might dip into the hot pink. That is Mrs. Star. Okay, so do we want to go light with that shimmer? We can go into Star Vows, which is this color, that color. We can go into Cut the Cake, which is a silvery color. Or we can go into Polyamorous. Okay, which is that color. That's a very pretty color. We also have Clinking Glasses, which is another shimmer. But this is silver, which I can't turn my arm right. That's that one. And then we have a black. Oh no, we have a Bridal Beauty. That's a shimmer. There's a lot of shimmers in this. Not the color I'm going for though. Bound Together. Maybe that's the color. Maybe not. The top one is Bound Together, which is like a reddish brown shimmer. What's that black look like? Oh, that's dark. This color. So let's get these off. I think we're going to oh, I didn't even see that. Cold-blooded. Gold-blooded. I should really have my glasses on. That is this color. That's a great color. And Wedding Rings is another shimmer. Which is the one right below it. And Flower Girl is another shimmer. The one on the bottom. What should we do? What should we do? I don't know if that's the black that's... Let's take these off. I'm going to end up with it all over the place. I think it's the black. I think we do cut the cake. Let's do a silvery color. Yeah, so it feels a lot like my wedding day. Very nostalgic. Just with everything that's going wrong since I started this video. Or tried to start this video. My battery has died. My camera clicked off because it only has like 29-minute record time. And my memory card just ran out because silly me didn't clear it the last time I used it. So let's hope we can finish this. I'm going to use the Strawberry Shortcake. I know it's not very glamorous. It is from Glamlite though. I'm going to use this. Look how pigmented that is. My God. I did add the top of the cake, or cut the cake to my eyes. I will tell you there was a lot of fallout. No lie. I also decided to use First Dance to darken up the liner and on both the bottom and the top, and it kind of burned. No lie on that one either. It doesn't hurt now, but when I first applied it, it did kind of feel like it was burning. So we might test that again to see if it was a fluke. We're going pretty light in with the blush because she is very pigmented. We're almost done though. We're almost done. We are going to take one of my Jeffree Star mascaras. I don't remember which one this is. It is black though in color. It might be Jeffree Star approved. I think that this is the one that I've received in my last mystery box. This is going to be a fun video to piece together. The color is pretty. The cut the cake color, it is a silvery shimmer, but I did have a lot of fallout. I don't know if I would do this as a wedding look. I mean, I can see it, obviously, but we're going to see if we can get a little bit of that hot pink color. Not really see my lower lashes either. There's people upstairs. Okay, let's see. Let us use Communion Wine as our lipstick. Look at that color. It's gonna be so dark. These smell fabulous. They have a very good wear time too. He does know his formulas. And Elf obviously knows theirs too. Look at that vampy look. I don't have any of his liners. I keep looking over here and I really shouldn't, so I apologize. But this is what tells me that I'm running out of battery time on this one as well. It tells me when my camera's about to shut off. let's see, do we have a highlighter? We have a Jeffree Star highlighter, but it's like pink and blue, so not really the look I was going for. Yeah, we'll pull out ColourPop, because why not? I think that they have a color TikTok shop too. I'm trying to be good though and stay off of TikTok. Getting a little shiny because it's a lot warm down here. So let's see if we can clean up the little specks from the mascara. I think that's as good as we're going to get. So this is my, oh, we didn't use that color. Wait a second. Wait a second. Gotta use that color. We're going to use Mrs. Star, which is that middle color right there. Where are we going to put it though? We're not going to wet it, I'll tell you that, just in case. Look at that. That's scary. Let's just tap her on in the corners. Now it looks a little muddy. What do you think? I am so afraid that's not going to come out of the brush. I have slightly hooded eyes, so I don't know. I mean, the formula is great. The colors are very pigmented. I think that pink is just a fun color. And if you don't want to be a boring Betty, then wear it. I like this a little better. I want to use more of that cut the cake, but I'm afraid it's gonna like really fall out. Because it's kind of chunky monkey there. I don't know if this is an older, I mean, I don't want to zoom in too much because it's going to completely blur me out, but she's fallen. And she's hard to get up. Okay, this video has been long enough. So, but this is what she looks like. It's a great palette. It's a beautiful palette. I can see myself using this probably a bit more than his other palettes, just because it is a wearable palette. You've got browns, you've got mauves, you've got burgundies, blacks, silvers, and gray. So this is a one-stop palette. Probably fantastic for a makeup artist. I think it's great. I'm very pleased with the purchase. Still questioning that first dance color. I'll get back to you on that one if I try that one again. It's a beautiful color. It's this one right there. But I'm not sure on the reaction, and I don't know if that's a pressed pigment, because I'm not going to be able to read that. I don't think I can read that with my glasses. I might have to take a picture of it with my phone and blow it up. So that's okay. Alright, so this is it. thank you so much for stopping by. Please like and subscribe. It is free. I appreciate each and every one of you that come and join my community. I do plan on having some different videos up. It probably won't always be a TikTok review. I've done a wig review before for Temu. I have another one planned. I got some really cool wigs. I also have a Shein wig try-on coming because one of you guys requested a Shein try-on. I will be redoing this room with the help of my son for the heavy lifting within the next 4 or 5 weeks. So you'll get to see me reorganize my makeup. Let me know what you think of that, if it's something you're interested in. And thank you again for stopping by. Everybody have a wonderful week. Stay safe, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.